Hi, everyone. It is Steph. This month, we are taking a look at healthy boundaries and not so healthy boundaries and the impact that they have on the mind, the body, and the business. Last week, we talked about the mind. This week, we are talking about the body. I think everyone is pretty much aware of the various ways that stress can have a terrible impact on our health. But what we need to talk about this week is two really important ways that you can alleviate that stress. And part of doing that is deactivating the nervous system. When we keep piling things on ourselves and we're trying to be overly pleasing or overly accommodating, we kind of get into fight, flight, or freeze mode because we're just reacting instead of really thinking our way through what are the consequences of saying yes to something. How will we actually pull that off rather than just piling, right? So there's two things that you can do that will really help create a little bit of breathing room and space to let your nervous system relax and let your brain think through how to move forward. Okay. The first thing that you can do is practice yes and, right? When somebody asks you to do something or they have a sense of urgency or importance about something, you have the option of saying, yes, I would love to help you. And I can get to that tomorrow afternoon at 3, or how about we meet Friday and I can help you with that project. Give people options. Start by validating. You understand that they have a sense of urgency or that this is important to them. And not but, and is a really important word. And this is when you can help them. Because if you already have a packed day and you're just going to crush more on top of that, you are also crushing your nervous system, which then creates stress, which then releases cortisol, and various things go from there. So promote your own health, practice the yes and conversation. The second thing that you can do, and this is really subtle, is stop apologizing for things that are not your fault. I'm all for taking personal responsibility and holding yourself accountable for things that you're actually involved in. But if you are essentially apologizing for being busy, which means you are successful, that's crazy. To apologize for being successful is ridiculous, and it's a very weird expectation that we have of other people and of ourselves. So if you are a working parent and you would like to go to your kid's game, and that means you're going to leave work at 4 o'clock, you don't owe anybody an apology for that. Being a good and loving and engaged parent is not something that you apologize for. If you are a successful business owner and you are booked out for 2 weeks and you cannot get a fresh request on your calendar until week 3, that is not something that you apologize for. Again, you can acknowledge the importance to someone. You can tell them what their options are, but to say, oh, I'm so sorry, like I can't sacrifice everything that I've already planned for and accommodate your emergency request. Stop doing that to yourself. That is one very subtle way to stress yourself out and just compound, layer over layer, all of the pressures that we feel, instead of just maintaining a healthy boundary and again giving ourselves that space to use our frontal lobe instead of the monkey mind, which is what gets us into trouble all the time. So those are my 2 tips for this week. I hope you find that helpful. The next 2 tips for the rest of this month are going to be around how to create healthy boundaries in business, because as leaders, we are in a unique position to do this, and it's important that we do it, not only so that we don't go nuts, but we're able to retain our employees and maintain a really healthy culture that is also productive. So stay tuned for that information, and I will see you next Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week and stay calm and carry on. Bye, guys.